Welcome back, guys, to another vlog. What you just saw me doing was making my keto coffee for the morning. Today's the first day of classes for me, and I am lucky because I don't have class until 11. So what I wanted to do in this vlog today, because of the last vlog when I talked about how I stayed fit in college as far as my meal prep was concerned and how I worked out, I figured the only appropriate way to follow up with that, considering it's the first day of classes, is to do a little day in the life of what I go through. Sorry if I'm being a little quiet. Both of my housemates are still asleep and I'm down in the basement, so I should be okay. But today's actually a little different than most of my class days, especially because I only have one class and I have work in the afternoon. Just to kind of put into perspective what my week looks like, I have one class on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11 to 11:50, which is not bad. I work 8 to 11 on Mondays and 12 to 4 on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then I don't work any other times, but I can pick up shifts if I want to, which I probably will because I need that money. Anyways, while I'm drinking my keto coffee, I want to show you a couple of the supplements that I like to take in the mornings. The first one being magnesium. If you remember from the last vlog when I was telling you about the types of electrolytes that you needed to get into your body, sodium, magnesium, potassium, I like to pop a 400 milligram magnesium supplement first thing in the morning. Helps perk me up. Also, I take vitamin D3, especially in the winter months when there's not as much sun around. I like to make sure that I'm getting my appropriate dosage of vitamin D. What I put in my keto coffee, as you saw, was 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 1 tablespoon of Kerrygold butter, and 1 tablespoon of, which is about 15 milliliters of the Kiss My Keto MCT oil. Oh, and some cinnamon. So basically what that's doing for me is it's loading my body up with some very high quality fats for the morning to get me going. I've only had 1 sip and I already feel a little bit more energized than I did when I first woke up this morning. Before I mixed up my coffee, you saw that I put some cinnamon in there. Cinnamon actually has some lowering of blood sugar effects. You can actually decrease your insulin resistance by adding cinnamon to some of your things. So I like to add it to my coffee because it gives it a nice extra little bit of flavor. I enjoy it, and I know that I'm getting that added health benefit. So that's why I add cinnamon to my keto coffee. And I just love keto coffee altogether. Also, you see Theta Tau right here. Before I was in business school, I was in engineering school, and I was vice president of Theta Tau professional engineering fraternity. I got a lot of really good real world practical experience from that, from the group in general, but from being vice president specifically. I learned a lot about leadership, a lot about accountability, and I learned that I really liked being in charge, and I think that's kind of what planted the seed of going into management, because I really enjoy making the calls. And talking real quick on engineering school, this is going to be my little motivational speech for the day, but don't chase anything that you don't want to do. At first, I really loved the concept of going into engineering. My major was biomedical engineering, and I really wanted to make prosthetic designs, but I realized that I didn't see myself doing that 100% of the way. And when I really boiled it down, it came to the fact that I wanted to get a job that paid a lot of money right out of the gates to make my family proud, and that's just not something that you should ever do in terms of picking a career for yourself. Is pick something that you know that you love, and then the money will come. And that's kind of been my philosophy going forward in life and in college. I have 1 semester left before I graduate with my degree in management. I also have a minor in electrical engineering, so everything works out. So just chase what you're passionate about and make that your life's work. So going back to the whole day in the life thing, today, Wednesdays, are different for me because I don't have class until 11 a.m. and I don't have any work in the morning. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drink my keto coffee. I'm gonna go to campus and I'm gonna get some cardio in, probably somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes of like incline treadmill walking or something along those lines, just to, you know, wake me up, get my heart going, my heart rate up, and then just kind of get a good move on with my day. Class from 11 to 11:50, like I said. Then I'm gonna go eat some lunch, meal one, lunch, whatever you wanna call it. And then I'm gonna go to work from 12 to 4, and then I have to actually go back to the gym for my legs workout. After the gym, when I get home, I'm gonna come back and talk to you guys a little bit about my actual body comp analysis test results. So I'll go over those results with you guys, tell you guys where I started at, even though I took the exam a couple of days into my keto cut. So it's not exactly day one stats, but it's close enough. And when I go over those with you, I'm going to talk about what my specific goals are in terms of where I want to get numbers wise. And I'm also going to talk about how I'm going to get to those goals. So with that, I am going to head to campus and get some cardio in. So there we go, we're almost to the gym now, and we have a little under 90 minutes before my first day of classes. That's still really weird to really think about, but gonna probably do somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes on the treadmill, leave myself enough time to shower and look presentable for class and work. But real quick before I actually get to the gym, I want to talk about goal setting and how you have to put priorities ahead of other things that you might want to be doing. So for example, I like to sleep. I like to sleep a lot. I like to get my sleep. And sometimes I have to sacrifice what I love for something else that I love, which is getting in shape, getting in the best shape of my life, and sucking it up and having to get a little bit of cardio in before class. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? It's also said that it takes 21 days to make a habit. So hopefully within the next 3 weeks or so, I can get into a habit of religiously going to get my morning cardio in on Wednesdays and Fridays, since I don't have anything going on in the mornings. But we're gonna see what we can do. Walking right up to the gym now, so let's go get this work. So workout session is done. Did about 40 minutes on the treadmill. Tried to keep my heart rate between 120 and 140 to be in the optimal fat burning zone. It is currently about 10:40, so I have about 20 minutes before my first class of the semester. I don't know, I feel real good about getting some cardio in before class, and I feel nice and focused. Let's go get some knowledge gains. All right guys, I have about a little under an hour and a half left before my work shift is done and I can go to the gym, which means that in about an hour I get to mix up my pre-workout mix. And real quick, I want to tell you what is in my pre-workout mix and why I do what I do with each ingredient. So in this, I have 1 scoop of Keto Pump. I've talked about Keto Pump before and I'll talk about it a little bit more shortly. I have 2 grams of pink Himalayan sea salt, and I have about 2.5 grams of L-leucine. So one of the downsides coming into the ketogenic diet yet again was the inability to actually take a pre-workout because of all the crap that gets added in, the sweeteners and all that kind of stuff, with Keto Pump. It is naturally sweetened. There is C8 MCT powder in it, and I don't think I've ever had more of like a clean, crisp source of energy from a pre-workout before ever in my life. So Keto Pump till the day I die. The salt is an interesting one, and it's actually something that I only recently discovered, but when you add salt to a pre-workout, especially a pre-workout that has creatine monohydrate in it, you get killer pumps. And I was kind of skeptical at first when I heard about that, because I was like, why would I put salt in something that I'm drinking? But when I did it for the first time, oh my God, guys, it was one of the most incredible feelings ever. The reason for it, without going too scientifically into the reasoning as to why this phenomenon occurs, is because salt, when it is combined with creatine monohydrate, it helps the creatine monohydrate go directly into your bloodstream, which increases performance almost immediately. And then I throw about 2.5 grams of leucine, which is one of the 3 essential amino acids being what are used for muscle protein synthesis. It's one of the 3 main ones. There's leucine, isoleucine, and valine. I add about 2.5 grams to my pre-workout. It's very bitter, so I like to mask it with the taste of the Keto Pump. So thank you to Jason Whitrock for that suggestion. It's actually kind of funny. He gave me the suggestion on the Keto Quest app, and before I got that suggestion from him, I ended up just taking my 2.5 grams of leucine post-workout with my creatine, and it was probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever had to do. So I won't make that mistake again, and I will be adding it to my pre-workout now instead. Speaking about the pre-workout, about the Keto Pump, if you are interested in giving Keto Pump a try, it's keto friendly, but anyone can take it. You don't have to be on a ketogenic diet to take Keto Pump. I will put a link to the product in the description down below, so feel free to check that out. If you use the discount code KetoQuest, you will get 30% off your order. Talk about a steal. There is a pretty good chance, I know I said in the last vlog that there probably was a chance that I wasn't going to be able to record any footage, but today I know that I won't be able to record any footage because, one, it's the first day of classes and all the students are going to want to be in the gym, and I have no problem with that. I've changed my mindset completely. Before, I would get really annoyed with how packed the gym was because I wouldn't really be able to get the equipment that I wanted to use, or my workouts would just double in length. But now that I am a NASM certified personal trainer and I am on this Keto Quest journey with all of my fellow Keto Questers and anyone else who is trying to better their lives, I've come to realize that I need to kind of switch that mindset, switch that mentality, and realize that the people that are in the gym with me at the time that I'm there are there because they're doing the same thing that I'm trying to do, which is better their lives through fitness, through whatever healthy lifestyle that they're trying to promote for themselves. So I commend each and every person that is in the gym, even if it means my workout gets a little bit longer. I'm okay with it now, and I really hope that everyone can crush their goals this year. But with that being said, I'm probably not going to be able to get my leg day recorded at all, which kind of stinks, but sometimes I work out better when there isn't a camera around. So I will probably catch up with you guys after the gym. Like I said, I'm going to do my InBody results, tell you guys what it all means to me and to you guys, and how I'm going to achieve the goals that I set forth for myself. So I'll catch up with you guys at home. And we're back home. That leg day, not gonna lie, was a little bit brutal. I'm feeling kind of under the weather, and it is really kind of pissing me off because I haven't felt any cold symptoms like this in a while. Wow, my computer is glaring at me. There we go, that's much better. Yeah, so I was sniffling the entire time during the workout. I was trying to not be a faucet from my nose. I think, and this is just me and my experience with keto talking, I think that what is happening is I have a potassium deficiency, because last week I was completely fine and I was eating my avocados. I was eating an avocado a day, and this week when I planned out my meal prep, this was on me, I forgot to include avocados on the list. So I have to probably go get some avocados. I think that that's gonna fix the problem, so we'll experiment with that and see how that goes. But that's not the point of what we're doing now. Right now, I wanted to show you my InBody results. So now I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'm gonna go over some of the statistics that are on this sheet of paper. So without further ado, let's do this. I apologize for the shadow, but you're gonna have to bear with me. So this first box is what I was primarily concerned with when getting the test. The body composition analysis. It's broken down into 4 categories: intra and extracellular water. That is basically just talking about the amount of water that is within the cells of your body, and then the water that is not in the cells of your body, so everywhere else. And then it breaks it into dry lean mass and body fat mass. I was mostly concerned with figuring out how much body fat mass I have, but it does this cool little thing where it concatenates or adds the boxes accordingly. So
I am 104, when I took this test at least, I was 104.3 pounds of water. My lean mass, which is the water plus the muscle and skeletal muscle and bones and all that kind of stuff, is 142.4, which is pretty good considering my weight. My total weight is 175.6 at that point of time, which means that I had 33.2 pounds of body fat mass. If we go down to here, what the lady who did the test explained to me was that in order to know that you're in a good spot, you want the end of this graph to look like a D, and which for now it's a little off from what I would like it to be. By it looking like a D, it means having this being a little bit further back so that when you go like this, it looks like a D. So my goal is to get my weight down and my body fat mass down a little bit more so that it makes a more prominent D looking shape. I don't have a weight goal per se. My main goal essentially is to lower my body fat mass as low as possible without being in any dangerous sort of position. BMI is 26.7, which is a little higher than average. The average is this little dash right here. And then I was 18.9% body fat, which at the beginning of my journey 2+ years ago, I was actually over 30% body fat, believe it or not. So 18.9 is pretty good. I think the lowest I never got a professional reading before, so I don't know exactly what my lowest body fat percentage was ever, but the goal is to get that as low as possible. Another cool thing about this test is that it breaks things down based off of different segments of your body. And so as you can see, I hold most of the weight in my trunk, which makes sense. It's one of the biggest parts of the body, other than, you know, the right leg and left leg. But what the doctor told me, which was pretty interesting, when it breaks it down, both my legs and both of my arms have the same exact amount of pounds of body fat, which she said she's never seen before on anyone she's ever tested. So I don't know if I'm just a freak of nature or if the test was kind of wonky, but I'm not gonna complain about it. It just means that I'm proportionate, which I'm really happy about. Also, one more thing I wanted to talk about is my basal metabolic rate, my BMR, 1,766 calories. BMR, basal metabolic rate, is essentially the amount of calories that your body needs at like a base survival mode. That includes breathing, sleeping, all of your activity that you're doing throughout the day that isn't exercise, eating, all that kind of stuff factors into your basal metabolic rate. So 1766 for my height and weight is pretty good. Plus when I exercise, like this morning, you saw I got probably a little over 200 calories burnt just from doing some low intensity steady state. And I tore up some legs today, and that was probably another few hundred calories, if not more. So I'm eating at around 2,200 calories this week, and I'm assuming that my TDEE, which it stands for Total Daily Energy Expenditure, is probably somewhere between 2,700 to 2,900 calories. So I'm in a decent deficit, but I'm not trying to go too far to the point where I feel like I'm starving myself. And the main thing is that I'm listening to my body. I'm listening to when I'm hungry, I'm listening to when I'm full, and 2,200 seems to be doing wonders for me. So I'm gonna flip this camera back around. I was using my rice cooker as a stand because I am a novice vlogger. So that's the breakdown of my InBody results. As I promised, I was going to tell you guys about how I'm chasing my goals. I already kind of touched upon the nutrition side of it, keeping my calories in a deficit at around 2,200 calories. I might go lower a little bit because there are times where I eat all of my food throughout the day, and there's times where I'm not really that hungry and I'm kind of like force feeding myself, which isn't good. You should never do that on any diet, let alone the ketogenic diet, because with keto, your body is really good at telling you when you actually are hungry or when it's just kind of like a placebo. As far as the working out is concerned, I'm training, it depends on what day it is, but during the week, I usually have a couple of sessions that are higher rep, lower weight, and then I have some other sessions that are lower rep, higher weight. And both of those training modalities have their own benefits, whether it's muscular endurance or hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is just the growth of your skeletal muscles. My goal is to keep on as much muscle as possible, which is why I'm not trying to go into too much of a deficit, but I need to lose some body fat, and that includes being in a deficit. So it's a give and take. That's why you see bodybuilders and people who are into fitness and nutrition and all that going through cycles of bulking and cutting. Although I will say that listening to Jason Whitrock and other people in the keto community, bulking and cutting isn't really something that I see being a sustainable thing in my future. So I don't think I'm gonna go through cycles like that, as opposed to more so just going through phases where I eat higher calorie on keto,
and kind of just monitor where I'm at. Probably eat pretty close to maintenance. On keto anyways, you're gonna have a slower rate of muscle growth because of the fact that you don't have carbs, you don't have anything in your glycogen stores to grow your muscles in that way, but you can still put on muscle mass on the ketogenic diet while keeping body fat off and or losing body fat. I'll trade putting on a ton of muscle for keeping my body fat pretty low year round any day of the week. So I think that about does it for the vlog. I'm gonna go take a shower, go eat some dinner, probably go hang out with some friends a little bit later, and kind of just enjoy the rest of my night, relax because I deserved it, I earned it, I worked hard today. You saw what my day looked like. Tomorrow's gonna be a little bit more different because I'm gonna actually have 4 classes as opposed to just 1, but they're all in the same building except for one of them, so I kind of got away with the little fast one there. Actually, it's funny, 2 of my classes are actually in the same room, so I literally go from one class to a different classroom, back to the same classroom. I'm not gonna complain about it, other than the fact that it could have been extra cardio, but we cover that in the gym. So with that, I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching. As always, feel free to subscribe. I am gonna try to break up my videos into less vlogging, except I wanna keep vlogging, but I want to break my videos down into recipes or instructional workouts, anything that can be of value to you guys. If you have any suggestions of video ideas that I can do for you, leave them in the comments down below. Again, if you want to join the Keto Quest community, there will be a link down below as well. Link to my Instagram as well down below. Again, subscribe, and with that, we are out.